Hi everyone, it's me again. I wanted to show you how I think we are supposed to set up our WebEx virtual meetings with our class. I know I sent another video earlier in the week, but I've tested a few things out and just wanted to share that with you. So I believe this is the way we are supposed to set it up so that the district can monitor our live teaching minutes. And again, I am just guessing here. So from within your Canvas course, you would click on Cisco WebEx. Now, I think in my first video, I had said that when you first go in, you won't see this. The very first time you click on it, you're actually taken to this page. Initially, I had clicked everything on, but I went back into my setting or the setup, which you can click on any time. And I only chose virtual meetings for now because I'm not holding any office hours yet. And I'm not sure how the classroom collaboration works. So it also makes it nice and simple for the students because whatever you choose here, as it says here, the students are going to see. So if I clicked everything, I noticed that in the student view, they also had these choices across the top, and I thought that would be confusing for my fourth graders. So this way, when they go in, it'll default to just virtual meetings. I've scheduled one here, but I'll show you how I did that. So I just clicked on new meeting. I can give it a name. I'm going to call this test meeting. And then again, you can choose the date and time when you want it to start. And then this was where some teachers had questions. So I wanted to try to keep it as simple as possible for my fourth graders. And I was trying to avoid having to schedule 5 meetings a day for each period, or like 5 meetings a week for each day. So in here for the duration, you can schedule it for longer than 6 hours. You can do 6 hours. And then yesterday I tested it out. I did 6 hours and 20 minutes just to give us a little cushion at the end of the day or at the beginning of the day. And then here, for now, I'm just creating a single meeting because I want to test it out first next Wednesday, but you can repeat it on a daily basis. And then you can even do an end date. So like we can choose September 25th, which is the end of the first 6 weeks of online teaching if we wanted to. But for right now, I'm not going to repeat it, and I create my meeting. Oops. Yeah, I'm going to just pretend it's next Thursday. Okay, so here's my test meeting. I can go back in and edit it if I want. If I made a mistake and I don't want it, I can delete it all from within here. And then from a student's view, when we create it in here within Canvas, then the students will automatically get a link. So here with a student view, okay, they also have the WebEx link here. And then you can see that the 2 that I scheduled, they see a join button. That's all they have to click on. Now, some of the teachers I talked to had questions about the 6 hours and 20 minutes. So I did a test meeting yesterday and I let it run, and it did, the meeting ran over 6 hours. So it did not cut me off at exactly 6 hours since our day is 8:55 to 3 for most of us. And also I tested it out with my screensaver coming on and my display going to sleep. Not my hard drive, but my display going to sleep, and the meeting still ran. It did not kick me out of WebEx. The other thing I noticed too is once you are in the meeting, then you can go up to the WebEx menu. There's going to be a menu across the top, and there are choices for like disabling chat and not allowing the kids to annotate. But there was something I noticed. Once I set up a meeting here within Canvas, if I go to, let me move some of my menus around. If I go into my WebEx account for SJUSD, okay, I think I have to sign in. So this, I'm actually in a browser window. I think this is how we are used to setting up meetings. So what I just did was I actually set up my meeting within Canvas, and it is connected to my district WebEx account. So as you can see, it actually put the test meeting into my WebEx account because it is connected. So one of the things I noticed to make note of is if I create my meeting the way I just showed you from within Canvas, it gets pushed out here to my WebEx account. I can still edit things this way because within Canvas, it didn't give me a lot of choices for like chat and what the participants can do, but in here I can. So here's my test meeting that I created from within Canvas. I can click on the pencil to edit it. Okay. I can scroll down here and the advanced options. Okay. So there are audio connections, agenda, but it's the scheduling options that teachers are usually concerned about. So here, I think by default, these are all turned off, which is fine. They don't have to register. And then it's down here. It's the meeting options and attendee privileges. So if I click that link, this is where if you want to disable chat altogether, especially at the beginning, you can just uncheck it and they won't be able to chat at all. Okay. Or if you want them to have limited privileges with chat, you can keep it on. And for me, I'm going to turn off that they can't take notes, they can't transfer files. I left this last one and you can say, okay. Now you can go down to attendee privileges. So that would be the students. I'm not going to let them save or print or annotate. That's the annotate one is really important. That's when they can like mark up your screen if you're screen sharing. If you don't want them to see the class list, you can uncheck that. And let's see. You can also uncheck this. I think this will take away their capability to control your application and browser. So just to be on the safe side. Now, because I had checked that they can chat, now I can choose who they can private chat with, and then I'm only going to do host. So if you unclick the other participants, that's really important. They will not be able to have private chats with each other because if they do that, you won't see it as a host. And then you can say, okay, and then you can save this. So it's kind of two steps. I created the meeting from within Canvas and then came out here to my WebEx account and then changed the privileges. You can save it as a template. I've been trying to play around with that. Now, I tried something else. So last night, I created a meeting here and then went back into Canvas. It did not show up. So I'm not sure if that's just a glitch with the Cisco WebEx side, but the meetings that I create within Canvas do get pushed out here and then I can make some changes. But the meetings I schedule here did not get pushed back into Canvas, if that makes sense. Okay, so I think that's all I found out so far. If I learn anything else, I will let you guys know. Thanks. Oh, I know. I'm sorry. I also tested it out where I started. So as you can see, I scheduled a first day of school meeting for 6 hours and 10 minutes. I started my meeting yesterday with a 6-hour, 20-minute meeting. Partway through, I ended the meeting pretending it was recess and that everyone was logging out or leaving the WebEx meeting. And then 20 minutes later, I was able to rejoin the same meeting. So I did not need a second meeting for like the next period. So I looked it up and you can leave your meeting and rejoin as many times as you want, as long as it has not gone past the end time for your meeting. So if I started my first day of school meeting at 9 o'clock, as long as it's not past 3:10, I can go in and out of my meeting that way and no one's in there because I didn't want to leave my meeting open unattended. Another solution that another teacher mentioned was if you don't want to leave the meeting and go back in multiple times during the day, you could take all your students when it's almost time for recess and move them all to the lobby and then go to recess or lunch. And then when you come back, just move them all back in. I haven't been able to test that out because obviously I don't have like a class of students to play with, to play around with that. Okay, thanks.